Sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah. So here are the three things that we need to put on a landing page to make it convert really really well. Right. So it needs to have these three pillars. So pillar number one is it needs to show you how you can fix the problem that you have so you get the result that you want. And the reason for that is people need to see themselves using your products to get the result that they want. In your case, is really getting better open rates, getting people to click more emails, getting people to maybe try out the product if they're using this with an onboarding process and all that stuff, right? Then you need to explain why you're better than the current thing that they're using, right? Because they're used to this thing. It might not be perfect. It might be a pain in the ass to use, but they are used to it, and there's like a lot of resistance that you need to overcome um, until they want to get like another tool, which in your case would be Bonjoro, right? So and in this case, the current tool they might be using like a normal email campaign, right, to send out these things.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and then afterwards is why are you better than anything else on the market? Because let's face it, they are going to compare you to other solutions on the market. So they need to understand that this is the best solution for them. There's not going to be anything else that they can do, no other alternative that they can use that is going to be better than this, right? So if we
Right.
tell them how we can use how they can use your product to get the result that they want, why is this way better than the current solution that they have? So they need to switch this as soon as possible. And why you're better than anything else on the market, so that they don't have to browse around and compare all these features, all the information that they need to convert now, right? So that's how we get them to convert as fast as possible and to not hesitate. Because if there is any hesitation, then we kind of risk losing them, right? So now what we can do is really tear down the current landing page, the current homepage in this case, to really break down what's wrong and what could be better, right? So
Sounds good.
I really like the top of the page, like saying that you're going to boost customer engagement and all that stuff with perfect timing videos, and you show like videos from other companies and so on. The problem is, it seems like customer engagement is really like a broad kind of thing, so it could be anything, and also it just seems like it's like a lot of work creating these videos, and they're probably not going to be automated, and they don't see how they can use these videos and attach them to their CRM or to their marketing funnels. So if these are just going to be like some random videos that they're going to use, then they kind of think that it's kind of useless or like a nice to have, right? So that's even though it explains what it does, it gives them the wrong impression.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
If the customers are like SaaS companies or that type of thing, then that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, exactly. Especially that. And you guys have like some good use cases here, but they are like really, really small, and they're probably and people are probably just gonna scroll, uh, you know, right below them, right? And what we need to do is have something that, as they're scrolling down, they keep learning more and more seamlessly. They don't have to check all these different things. It's just everything is seamless, right? I mean, I do like this part of saying that Bonjoro integrates with their existing tools and all that stuff. The problem is they don't tell me how they integrate with the existing tools to get more use cases, right? So they don't care about the tools; they care about how they can use it. So instead of saying that integrates with Infusionsoft, you would say that integrates with your email marketing tool. So you can record a video and it creates a campaign for you, and you can do it automatically, track replies, and all that stuff. That's
Yeah.
that's what's really useful.
Yeah.
And then when you say like create campaigns, like these illustrations are really, really good, but they don't show me what that campaign would look like. Then sending the videos and so on and driving more engagement. It's kind of unclear what this all is going to look like and how it's going to affect my bottom line, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that you guys not covering about this, the current thing that they're using and so on, is this basically is almost like a fight against email, right? It's like you're sending the same type of content, but with a different medium. Instead of like uh, a long ass email, you would have like a really cool video that seems really personalized, right? So
Right.
it's the same campaigns, but with a different medium. And what that if we have that impression, then people are going to say, okay, we already know how to use it. We just have to change the medium. And then once we do, we get 2 or 3x better open rates, right? So it's going to seem familiar. Right now, this is something that they think they never tried before. It's an complete unknown, right? And then
Yeah.
the rest is fine. Then you have some social proof, which is okay, and then you have like C pricing, which doesn't have like a clear call to action saying what's going to happen next, right? And it's totally fine. So it's really just an overview. We're just gonna take it to the next level now.
Yeah.
So, do you have like any questions about this, about the what the current page looks like and so on, or should we dive right into the other one?
No, I mean, I think that feedback is really valuable, and I think I agree with you on a lot of those points. And I think based on your triangle that you laid out initially too, I'm wondering, I'm curious too, what you think about kind of like that other component, because it doesn't seem like that's really heavily addressed right now in the current UI layout.
Yeah, yeah. It's clearly not addressed, but I think you guys are doing a good job in this one, right? But yeah, just zoomed in, and we're gonna just copy this thing, and like what you guys worked on, into this one. So we have like something that is kind of easier to visualize, and this is the format that I use with my clients, right? So I really like this headline because it goes directly against the current thing that they're using, right? So you're saying that your customers get an average of 120 emails. It's time to get personal and stand out, right? The only thing that
Yeah.
I would do is I would provide a little context of what this is about. So I would just say that it's like personalization at scale, right? Because that's what you mentioned somewhere, um, somewhere later in the page, right?
Yeah,
Somewhere.
yeah, yeah.
So then you say Bonjoro lets you send fast personal emails that connect with your people. And what I would say is finally there's a way that you can uh, send personalized videos at scale that also integrates with the rest. Or we can say without having to change anything in your marketing. Because here's the thing that really grabs their attention is if we tell them, okay, here's how to get the results without the common problem that they have. Because if they are to use like any tool like this, it was going to affect like their marketing campaigns. They would have to change like a bunch of things. Maybe they would change their email tool or something. In your case, you don't have to change anything without having to change your marketing or any tools. Okay, so we would just underline this, right? And then we would tell them, okay, why should they do this now? Why is this risk-free? And we would just say, uh, give it a try for days free. And then we could say there's also a free plan available. Right?
So, Pedro, what do you think? I've always been really curious about this kind of concept. What do you think about like the word "free" in terms of copywriting on pages? Do you find that tends to perform well for driving behaviors? What's your take on that?
I think it's good for the free trial, but I wouldn't like over promote it because if we promote the value of the product really well and then we say that like it's free a bunch of times, then it's just gonna turn on their BS meters and just be like, sounds a little bit too good to be true, right? And that's
Okay,
what we don't want. So
so
yeah,
use it with discretion.
yeah. So I'll just add the no credit card required, right? And then just say. Uh, let's say get started or get your free trial and so on. It's not too important, like those small little details you can play around with. This image is good, but I can copy and paste it over. But what I would do is, let me comment here. What I would do is I would say, okay, this would be an actual use case. So for example, it could be getting an onboarding email, right? Um, and maybe this could be a GIF. Maybe it could be a GIF. So then people like whatever is the most common use case that people are looking for when they go to your website, you just put that there. So for example, this would be an inbox, and they would get an email. I'd say, welcome to Barometrics, for example. And then you get an email from a video from a founder saying, hey, uh, glad you're trying out our products. Here's exactly how you can get started. Here's like a bunch of free guides. And if you need any help, we have like a team, right? So just have something like that. So right away, we're giving use cases for people. You're constantly attaching these use cases. So if they see themselves using it, then they'll see themselves getting the results. If they see themselves getting the results, then they'll attach that result to Bonjoro. And that's how they say it's worth money.
That makes sense.
This is spot on. Saying that over 20,000 companies are using it, blah blah, and using just some logos, totally fine. It's just to show that a lot of companies are using this, and a lot of companies that they probably respect are using this. So that's totally fine. Then you guys introduce the problem. This is the problem with the current thing that they use, just a normal email marketing tool, or just manually typing out personalized emails. That's never going to work, never going to scale. So what I would do is, honestly, we can say, the reason why we say honestly is because it's a weird word, right? It's never going to see that on a landing page. So it's just going to be like, whoa, and it then grabs your attention. So then you're going to say, honestly, is this the way to, you can say, is this the way to grab your customer's attention, or grabbing the attention of your leads? Or we can just say, is this the way to grab their attention? Because sometimes might be a customer, might not be a customer. Grab their.
So you're trying to kind of preempt that concern that you feel like they might have. Like, honestly, is this the right pathway? And you're kind of anticipating that, and then you're going to try to speak to it.
Yeah, exactly. So how we can say, how will you reach your leads and customers in this super noisy world, right? And then we just say get Bonjoro instead. And we can leave some of these because these are like, the body copy just really justifies whatever the headline says. So I would focus more on the headlines at this point than anything else, right?
And
so
right there, just for clarification, when it says, so you say list the underlying problem. So are you also going to answer that right here, or is that something that you're just like prompting?
When we like the list of underlying problems.
Well, like, so you address the problem, and you're saying like, is this the way to grab their attention? Here's the current problem, and then you also pose another question: how will you reach your leads in this noisy world? Then is it like get Bonjoro instead is how you're solving it, or are you going to also have copy that speaks to like, here's how Bonjoro is solving it? Does that make sense? What I'm asking?
Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to have a problem section that talks about the problems with the current thing that they use, and the problems with other things on the market. So they know, okay, here's why the thing I'm using sucks, and here's why the alternative that I'm thinking of using also sucks. So the only way to get the result is by by signing up for an account, like a Bonjoro account, right?
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is focusing on the bigger picture, and then zooming in to the current solution and zooming into the other solutions, right? So we just say, okay, what are the problems with the current solution? The current solution is, we can say sending out email campaigns like everyone else, right? And then instead of putting like the first email kind of thing, is I would probably just add an image of an image of for example, your email, and then a bunch of other emails, on top and below and so on. There's no way that you can find that, right? So it could be something like this one, and I'll just comment that down, like an image of your email right beside a ton of other unread emails, right? And then you can just write out like an arrow or something saying, is this how you're going to stand out, right? Is this how you are to stand out? like a short little arrow. And then here's the formula that I usually use for this is you're gonna say, okay, you can do this. This problem will affect your business in this way, and this is keeping you from getting this result. So there's actually a formula for the bullet points that we mentioned here. This is the one that I use. So for example, in your case, your leads and customers are swamped to irrelevant emails. So we can say you can't reach, or you can get them to open emails, and even get them to open the emails, right? You can say there's a ton of other emails they need to look at, and this is keeping you. Yeah, go ahead, because you cut out a bit.
At this stage, would you mention the promotions tab, like one of the things that is obviously a differentiator between things like Bonjoro versus others is like one-to-one video doesn't land in promotions just by the nature of what one-to-one video is. Is that something that you would specifically call out in the copy, like don't land in promotions kind of thing, versus like bulk or automated email at scale, like always is going to have that potential issue of landing in promotions folder?
Yeah, that's the thing that I would put like in another session, saying, okay, like you guys have right here, like adding in the being in a promotions folder and then just being like in a normal folder. I would have like a separate section like you guys have here, and then really talk about this this case study of this company that got 3.5 million in extra revenue just with a single campaign, just by switching to personalized videos, right?
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
And so we'll get to that in a second. From reaching your audience, let's just say reaching your audience, right? We don't have to be super specific. And then the other problem would be, yeah, and this is actually a really good headline. Are you going to manually type out personalized emails? And then you can say, you can do this at scale. You're not going to be consistent. Going to be consistent or fast enough. This is keeping you from growing, from scaling your company. Yeah, we can say that, skipping you from scaling your company. And that image is also pretty good. So this is the part of the page that is pretty on point.
Cool.
What I would do is, what I would add to this this image is, I wouldn't just put like a sad face and a happy face. I would just say add, for example, 10% open rate and 2% click through.
So some tangible metrics.
Yeah, and then it would be like a split test, because you can see that it's from the same person, and now you can say it's 80% open rate and let's say 50% click through, right? Because you don't have anything else to click but the video, right? So you're more likely to click it, right? So that's pretty good. And I would add this section just as it is, because that's completely on point, right? And we could say, instead of saying "Did you know," I would add a testimonial saying, "We added 3.5 million in extra revenue from a single campaign." Yeah, just by switching from automated emails to personalized videos. And I wouldn't link to the case study, or at least I would not make the link super obvious, because I don't want people to be browsing around. I want to grab their attention.
Got it. That makes sense.
Right? And it was just, I would highlight this, say, and then I would have the question right back to them saying, how much money are you losing right? Not and not hitting their inbox. Not
Yeah, like it's good.
right? So it throws the question back to them. So then they say, oh my God, if my email campaigns are generating 10 grand a month and they're not hitting the inbox, then imagine if they did,
Right.
right?
That's smart.
So then here's when we actually um, here's when we actually start talking about Bonjoro, right? We're going to tell them, okay, here's how we can get this results in like a short period of time or without the common problem and so on. So now they understand from the beginning until the end, like on a high level preview, how they can use your products to get the result that they want. And the reason why we want to do like a preview, so they can see all the steps and there are like no unknowns, right? And your steps look really good. We just need to add like some social proof and answer a couple objections. So we
Okay.
could say, instead of saying Bonjoro is the ultimate way to personalize in an automated world, let's say here's how you can uh, do personalize campaigns at scale in just 5 steps, for example. Okay? And then we can say um, get started in 15 minutes as it integrates with the tools you already use. Okay? And we'll remove this and you would just say no more uh, generic emails that no one opens, and no more sending personalized emails manually that you'll never be able to scale. Right? So get started in 50 minutes and
That's supposed to say you'll never be able to scale, right? Versus you'll be able to scale.
oh yeah, you'll never be able to scale. Exactly.
Cool.
So then you can have like a quick little video that talks about the same steps, or you can just have it as a text, like that is optional. And then I would just say get your 14-day trial, right? And then I would just skip to the steps because those small little things don't make a big difference. Now we're just gonna focus on the steps. So
Okay.
step number one would be to power up your existing funnels, which would basically means that you guys connect with their existing tools. The format that we want to use for this is we want to say, okay, we want to do this step so we can get the results. So we want to integrate with these tools so Bonjoro can integrate their marketing right away. That's what we want to do. For now, we can copy and paste the descriptions because they're really not bad, but this is the framework that we want to use. Then we want to tell them it's really easy because we have one-click integrations. Or in like another way to frame it is you don't need X, and in your case, it could be you don't need to export CSVs, or you don't need to manually import your list or something like that. Right?
Okay.
So then you would say step number one, and you also want to say steps so they know it's something that they need to follow and they're more likely to follow.
Right.
So we just say power up your existing funnels. Yeah, that could work. But we could say mm, yeah, power up. Yeah, that works. I think that works. Power up your existing funnel. No need to change any tools. And because this will be a little smaller, it would fit properly.
Okay.
Let's put 60. Right? And then the image would just be, let's say image would just be a Bonjoro, like the icon, surrounded by the most common integrations.
Got it. We have that image.
Yeah, and you probably have like a list, and you just want to do like the most popular, right? And
Yep.
we also want to have a call to action here, like just a tiny little link. So by at any point, if they're convinced, they can convert. And what this is for is if they have any question or any objection, you can address them. Can address it right away. In your case, they're probably not going to have like an objection because it's really just an integration here.
Yeah.
So then you can say create videos that stand out. Is okay. Then you just can say press record, or yeah, you can say create here or record your videos anywhere at any time. Okay, because then it fits your description better. Oh,
Yeah.
because you mentioned record and share from any device. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess we can merge those two because they're pretty similar.
Yeah. I think that like it looks like that one create videos that stand out is talking a little bit more about like the branding and the like tailoring it to your name, and then that one's kind of just focused on the mobile flexibility.
Yeah. Record your videos at any time. And yeah, and then I would just replace that with saying that you're going to get like way better results instead. I would say create your campaigns with the tools you already use because that's way more important. And I would just summarize this. Yeah, I would just break this down.
So you would combine those two basically together, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I would combine those two,
Got
and
it.
then I would just like say GIF view recording on different devices in different formats. So it could be like a screencast or just on your phone, for on your phone or but something like that, right? Then step number 3, it could be turn videos into a real marketing campaign.
Interesting. Okay.
Right, because then we can make we can have like a bunch of case studies and say, okay, we integrate this with your CRM, add this to your integrate this with your email marketing tool, and all those use cases. So what are the most common use cases after they create those videos?
I mean, so there's quite a few that are both kind of like pre-sale and post-sale. So pre-sale a lot of times is like demo confirmations, proposal follow-ups, like basically just like check-ins for people that have gone cold, so like re-engagement. And then after people come on board, it's a lot more of like thanking people as they come on board, asking for reviews, checking in around milestones. So it just kind of depends on at what point in the customer journey we're kind of looking at, if whether it's kind of like pre or post sale. It's used pretty heavily on both sides.
Got it. Yeah, that's really good because then we can say we can talk about those our metrics like the acquisition, the ascension, all that stuff, the retention, and everything, and then we can tell them, okay, from the beginning till the end, you can use Bonjoro to maximize all of the steps. So it can help with the outreach. It can help you convert the free trials. It can help you, upsell your current customers. It can help you get the referrals, right?
Yep.
So it can help you all those ways. So we're gonna purposely only mention like use cases for all those stages, so that they see, oh my God, this is not only for outreach. This is not only for customer support or for onboarding. I can use this everywhere, and I can get better open rates on every single thing that I do.
Yep. Whole customer life cycle. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that.
Okay, turn videos into a real customer, a real marketing campaign. Yeah. We say finally, there's a way to get better, to use personalized videos across the entire customer journey, right? From getting replies all the emails to getting better onboarding to upselling customers and getting more referrals/reviews. Bonjoro can help you every step of the way. Okay. So then what I would do is I would add some sort of image showing how the video connects with different types of campaigns. So and also have like a bunch of images with like logos of tools you integrate with. Right? Does that make sense? So
That
it
does
would be
make
like for emails or cold emails or for onboarding sequences and for getting more reviews, all that stuff.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah. So and one more thing, when we say record your videos anywhere at any time, there's an objection that we actually didn't answer, and it should answer right away. And it's way more important than one we wrote here. So we already mentioned this of people being tired of getting personal emails. So I just say you can record anywhere and say how do I record the perfect video, right? And say don't worry, we have a ton of guides to help you create the perfect videos in no time. Even
We
even
link
if you're
playbook.
camera shy. Right? So that's really good. Oh, and we can mention the playbook here instead, right? Yeah, oh, yeah. Let's not use that image, and let's just what we can do is let me just find an image real quick.
And if we put, so for that question above, like if we say that we have a ton of guides, we're probably going to want to link at that point, right, to the guides so that they can get straight access to it after they read that question, right?
No, just add that in the onboarding.
Okay, got it.
Then we might lose their curiosity and all that stuff.
Okay.
Right. So what we can do is it funnel, like funnel? Goes like something from like a swipe file or something. Of really good funnels.
We have. Are you referencing? So sorry. Are you asking about our video funnel playbook?
No, there was something like ClickFunnels was like ClickFunnels and some other company. They were sharing that. But basically, what I want to do is just tell them that we have like just have an arrow and say we have templates for 30 plus different use cases or different funnels or different video funnels. Step by step templates guides now will skyrocket your sales. Right?
Yep.
And it'd be something like that. Just a sneak peek of what the funnels would look like. So they don't say, oh, there's so much opportunity for me, and there's so many ways that I can use this product.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah. So that looks pretty good. And then step number 4 would be, yeah, to track all of this. Do you actually generate like automatic reports and everything? Because I know that's a big objection.
Yeah, we have like a results tab inside the app that will tell them open rates, watch rates, click-throughs, responses. People can like the videos. So we'll monitor that, and we'll monitor that for everyone on the team and for every template. So you can see how different templates you have are performing. So say you change the subject line, you can see how that performs relatively. If you change the preview text, you can see how that performs. And you can also see how different members of the team are performing. So we provide a lot of analytics to them to try to really help them see what's working and what's not.
Bam. Full visibility of what's working and what's not. And what's working, what's not. Bonjoro generates automatic reports and analytics based on some of these features. Right, so then what we would say is would have few check marks, and then you would say split tests, subjects, subject lines, and email copy. What else did you say? Because there's like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could test different calls to action buttons. You could test different subject lines. You could test different preview texts. You could test different backgrounds that exist behind the landing pages.
Okay, that sounds good. And what else can you do? What else can you see in those reports?
Yeah, I mean, a big thing is like monitor all of the performance of your team too. If you're working with a team on it, you can see exactly how everyone's performing across all of their different metrics. Makes it really easy for you to see, kind of if one person is rising up, and then kind of look at their videos and see what they did. And so, yeah, I mean, the major metrics again that we're tracking opens, watches, clicks, responses, likes. And so those are all metrics that they can have a good, and with those metrics, they can then obviously split test those different things that we talked about in point 1 to kind of optimize around those.
Okay, so what we can do here is have like an image of a dashboard, and then on top of that, we would have like a small little split test, so you know that you can split test things, right? So you can say monitor the performance of your team, track. I'd say track.
What do you think about an image of using our dashboard as an example? It's something that I've done with a lot of podcasts I reach out to, of like, hey, like just to show you how good this is relative to standard email, here's our personal team performance. And they can see like, okay, this month we sent, our team sent 2,000 personal videos, and our open rate's 80%, our click-through rate's 72%, our all these metrics that are basically very impressive, I think, for people that are in the email world. Do you think that would be a good image to work in at some point here? I've always found
you could do that. If you're gonna have like an image of the dashboard plus the split test, but you can just use your own data. That totally works. So monitor the performance of your team. There was like a couple good ones. It's kind of easy to miss. Like track how it affects your sales. There was just something else.
Also, you could say like one of the things that I know is a differentiator, because a lot of other tools in this market don't do that, but we have a conversations tab so people can respond back.
Oh, replies, yeah.
You're able to track all of the replies and conversations in one spot, which is definitely helpful.
One tool, right? Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. I love that.
Cool.
Right? So the USP, those are already like easy to understand. We can do the support. Right? So we can say 24/7 support, which I guess what it is. I really like this headline of saying that there are no bots, only humans. And what I would do is I would add an image of your team. An image of your team that looks like this. One second. Okay. Seems I don't have it at hand. Let's see. Demo page.
Yeah, if you take a note on it, we'll find it. We'll throw it in there.
Yeah, just found it. Okay, just found it. It's basically this one, but with a picture of your team. So then they can tell who they're talking with and on. So it's just like a tiny, little bit more personal.
That's a good one.
So then the open rates are really good, but we don't want to mention that too much because then I'll say, okay, this is just good for the open rates, not really for the sales. So what I would do is I would use the testimonials to also talk about the use cases, right? So here's how many customers do you have or users?
So it depends on whether we're talking about active but we have about 30,000 users.
Users are using Bonjoro to improve, not improve, like I want to say to affect the entire buyer's journey.
To, are you trying to say like optimize to?
Yeah, we could say optimize. Customer life cycle or something. Okay. And then we can use the same thing from getting replies to cold emails to getting better onboarding, also all that stuff. And what I would do, and if that's possible, is I would have like a table, or maybe something that could be vertically. Let's see. Let me just check those ARR metrics because that would be so cool. Say part metrics, guys. I always get it wrong. Right? So then we have this huge section that would say, okay, here's how they are getting or acquiring more customers. And then you would have 2 video testimonials with massive results of acquiring more customers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then you go down, and then you get, here's how they are getting activating more customers, like getting better or better free trial conversions or something. Here's how they are converting more leads into customers. You can see that. You could say activation. A little smaller. So they can see for the entire funnel. And that's where they'll get mind blown. And we can have like a ton of social proof while also showing them a bunch of use cases.
Right.
So that's going to be super cool. Right? And then you just have like a couple of people saying, "Oh, we got this result. This was amazing, whatever." Right? And then ideally you would have like I don't know how you're going to present this visually. We can add this on the side.
Okay. Are you thinking of like embedding, like having someone send us back a testimonial via an actual Bonjoro and like embedding something like that, or?
No, not really. Is really just telling them, okay, here's like the full customer journey, and then we tell them, okay, here are a bunch of customers that use Bonjoro to acquire more customers, and then here are some other users that use Bonjoro to get more people to convert from the free trials, and here are how other companies are using Bonjoro to get more customers to to stay on board and not churn and so on. And here are they getting more referrals, right? So they can see through the entire funnel.
Got it. Okay, cool. So, and then are we just listing the logos, or are those logos tied to like some outside pages that are going to have testimonials or like actual like breakdowns of those case studies? How would
No,
you?
it's really, it would be really something, it could be really something, yeah, maybe something like this, right? This, yeah, Design Pickle is using it for onboarding, right? So what I would do is I would put this image a little bigger. Let me see how this looks like.
So those link out to like the videos right now.
Yeah, okay, but instead I would embed them. Right?
Okay.
I would embed them and say the results. Talk about the results.
Okay.
This case is onboarding, so let's do this, and then they would say this is how they use it, and then you have the testimonial from the guy. Okay, this is not a testimonial, but let's pretend the guy is saying that they're getting so many referrals out of this and all that stuff.
Got it. So some sort of personal metric about the actual results that they've accomplished in that specific area. And we have a use case library that we can leverage for that. We have a lot of that data.
Yeah, and then as you can see, then people understand, okay, you'll help me acquire more customers, activate more customers, retain more customers, and get more referrals. So then I'll see, oh my God, it's not just like normal social proof. It's like social proof per use cases plus results, like the ultimate social proof.
Yeah. No, it's great. I love the layout of that. That makes a lot of sense. That's powerful.
Yeah. So we kind of running a little bit out of time. So just use that concept. And then we want to cover these two other call to actions, because then you have like all these call to actions saying, want to see the results for yourself. Let's talk funnels. I wouldn't do the playbook as a call to actions, because then you would have 3. I would do that as an exit pop-up. And then what I would do is I will put that on the blog. So here's what happens. Here's why we need a lead magnet, is because let's say someone is got a referral. Let's say referral. Oh, they're reading our blog, right? And there's a really big leap. There's a really big chasm between reading our blog and getting a referral to booking a demo or getting a free trial. Let's say trial, right? There's a really big leap. And what that does, what the playbook does, is like building a bridge. And that should be on your blog, like on the side. Let's say this is your blog. It should be on the side, should be related at the end of every article and so on. And you should have like a video saying, okay, we have 30 funnels that can help you throughout the entire customer journey. Or that could be the video. That could be how Bonjoro can help you get more sales, better retention, and more referrals with these, or the top 5 funnels that can get you more sales, more referrals, like something like that, right? So every single blog reader would be interested by that. Obviously, not everyone would click, but they would read, and then you'll go from reading an article or just getting a referral to watching exactly how it works, like step by step, and then say, oh, hell yeah, I need to sign up. I need to try this myself, right? And then you tell them, okay, go try this yourself, because building it yourself is going to be impossible. You cannot send this emails manually. You cannot send these emails with active campaign or something, because it doesn't work. And if you want to try it, we actually have templates for all of this. So super valuable. There's no other way to do this besides signing up. And you're going to have like a guide so it's easy to get started, right? So this alone helps you convert the other 70% they are not ready to buy right now. And this will get you like tons of referrals. This is like mind blowing, right?
Yeah.
But that's something that you need to do, right? And then lastly, I want to say, instead of saying find the right plan for your business, is you can say you're 15 minutes away from adding a video funnel that can double your open rates.
Yeah.
So let's
I love your emphasis on the time component, because I do think that's a major barrier of entry. Like people worry, they're like, this seems cool, but is it simple enough? Like, is it going to be too time intensive? And so I've noticed you emphasizing that in a couple different spots. I think that's super smart to make sure that we're really trying to tell people, hey, this is easy to adopt. I think that's going to be big.
that will 2 to 3x your open rates. Okay? And then we say, why is this valuable? I mean, why is this urgent or easy to get started? We can say, we have one-click integrations with the tools you already use. We can say at the top, still skeptical, try it for yourself. And I'm going to put this a little smaller, right? Like a caption or something, right? And then we want to say, why is this valuable? I guess we can skip that one because it's pretty intuitive in this case. And then why is this risk free? Oh, why is this valuable? We can also say that we have a guide for this. We have step-by-step on how to implement everything. And then why is this risk-free is try it for 14 days or use our free plan.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you would just say, the reason why I have like all these steps, like what's your next step and everything, is because this template is made for demos, because I work with B2B SaaS and just focus more on demos. So that's why we need to justify a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we could just say get started, not a big deal. And then as an alternative, we have the demo, right? And that's totally fine. And the thing that the biggest critique that I have with your, I think we just better off rewriting this one than copy and paste it, because that takes more time. Is really just saying, instead of saying still unsure how personal video would work for you, instead of you would say want to see how personal video will skyrocket your sales. Right? We will show you. Right? Instead of saying book a personal demo with one of our friendly team, right, or team members, when you're booking like a demo, you need to feel like the person you're booking a demo with is an expert. So
Right.
I can say, we'll show you, or I would say one of our
Like product experts.
Yeah, or video funnel experts or something.
Sure.
Experts will show you exactly how you can use personalized video to boost your sales. We will break down all of the opportunities and tell you exactly how you can get them done or something.
Would you at any point use copy around like increase your CLV, your customer lifetime value, or do you think that's too jargony to drop in?
Yeah,
it's a common.
Yeah, when we're talking about the value of a product, we're not going to say this is like more advanced, and that's what we're doing here. And I probably should have mentioned that. We don't want to say, okay, here's the value that you're going to get. We want to go slightly indirectly so they realize it themselves.
Sure. Okay.
Right? It's like you're telling a fat person that they're fat instead of they realize it themselves. Like you're telling someone they're fat, they're not going to exercise. Once they realize, oh my God, I'm fat, I'm going to die, then they're probably going to exercise, or not, if they're American.
Sure. That makes sense. Be a little indirect with it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And yeah, that's really about it for the page. I guess we can just do a quick review, like a 5-minute review, because we have like any questions. So at the top, we really tell them, okay, you're sending all of these emails. There's no way you're standing out. So here's the way that you can stand out, way faster. Maybe you can even use, like for this image, we can even use like like an image saying like a split test that we talked about later on, is we would say a common use case like an onboarding email, 10% open rate, then this email, way better open rates and so on. That could also work. Doesn't matter if we show it twice, because this is the main thing that you're selling. So it's really important that they don't miss it, because people are skimming through the page. They're not reading everything.
Right. That makes sense.
Then this is perfect. Then we want to say, okay, is this the way to grab their attention? So they say, oh my God, I'm really stupid. There's no way I can do this. So sending out email campaigns like everyone else, that really says, oh, I thought my marketing was better, right? So there's no, and then they'll see their email going to the inbox, and they're saying, okay, there's a lot more people trying to reach out to the same amount of to your customers, right? So how are you going to stand out, right?
Yeah.
And
Makes
then
sense.
we can say, are you going to do it manually? That's totally fine, totally understandable. I would just add this result a little bit to make it a bit more specific. Then we're really saying, okay, how many customers are you losing by hitting the promotions tab or being ignored? And then we say, how much are you losing by not hitting their inbox 90% of the time, right? Here's how you can do personalized campaigns at scale in just 5 steps and get started in 50 minutes, blah, blah, blah. So no more, so they're not going to use more generic emails. They're not going to send them manually. This is the perfect tool. This is totally designed for this, right? So number one, power up your existing funnels. They need to change any tools. So we answer that objection right away, right? So it complements the marketing you're already doing. It just changes the medium, so you get way better results.
Yeah.
Then you can record videos at any time. So there's no barrier to entry, especially because we show you exactly how you can record them, right? And then turn your videos into a real marketing campaign, right? And we can also add a tiny little headline saying, add this, like, improve your results at every step of the customer journey. So it's a little bit, stands out a little bit more, right? And then afterwards, they say you can track every single thing. So it's not like this is a cute thing that sends emails and so on. Everything is trackable, and you can track even more things because you're combining different tools. So you get even more insights than normal. You don't get less. So here's the main things that they want to track. They want to track the replies. They want to track the split test. This is like an objection. So they would say, okay, I can track everything. I can track what's working, what's not working. But what exactly can I track? And then that's why we're saying this. Split tests, the performance of your team, how it affects your bottom line, everything. So now they say, oh my God, this is legit. This is a real business tool, right? And then the support is really good. It's really simple. And then this is what I got really excited about, because this is something that I haven't done before, but is really, really good. Is not only we talk about the results, is we talk about results in different categories, so people understand how this works through the entire funnel.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, oh my God, this alone will double my referrals. It will help me get more free trial conversions. It will help me get better replies to my emails. Like,
What I
this
love
would be worth $500 a month.
what I love about this is why this is so powerful too. Is there's so many tools in the market right now that are really known for certain parts of the life cycle. Like Vidyard is very associated with sales. Loom is used very heavily by customer support teams, right? So a lot of the other players out there are focused on very specific segments. So by kind of painting this thing that says, hey, you can use this across the entire cycle, right, gives it that comprehensive look. Super smart for sure.
Yeah, and this, what I would do for the lead magnets is I would just talk about use cases for these for the entire life cycle. So I would just say, okay, here are some use cases for this life cycle, for this step, from this step, and this step, and this step, and then they'll just say, oh my God, there's so many use cases that I have to try it right now, because there's so many opportunities here.
Yeah.
And then after you share them the results for every single thing, like, there's no way that they're not gonna want to try it. And then we say that you're 15 minutes away, and if you're still skeptical, that are we going to show you personally give you a breakdown of your funnel, show you exactly where the opportunities are, and a bunch of video funnel experts will do that for you. Like it's an irresistible offer, right? Once we
Yeah.
get like everything
I love
perfect.
it. I think there's just a number of things that I really love that we enhanced. I mean, I think the number one, you can just tell that the page has so much more directionality, right? It's really moving people through a pace where I feel like before it was kind of like we had some good highlights, but they were almost kind of like individually, like there wasn't like
Yeah,
a synergy in how it flowed. Now it feels like you're taking them through kind of like where their mindset is when they are completely fresh, they don't know anything about it, and you're kind of warming them through those steps, anticipating what they might perceive as problematic, addressing that in advance, right?
yeah.
Instead of just highlighting what's good, addressing what they're going to be concerned about. I think that's super powerful. I'm super grateful for you going through and doing this. I think this is huge.
Awesome. Yeah, that's why I have like that formula. So then we can make that consistently, and it's fairly natural because it's if you think about like a sales process, the first part of like the first half of the call is really stretching the pain and diagnosing the problems, and then showing them how you fix exactly those problems and not mentioning the rest because the rest they can figure out by themselves, right?
Right,
That's what we're doing here. We're not telling about every single feature, every single use case, because this is an horizontal solution. Regardless of the niche, you're gonna have like a similar use case, but you're gonna do it in a billion different ways. So we can't say that. We want to say in a way that overlaps for everyone, instead of having 10 different pages. This way, it just works for everyone and is not vague.
right, right. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think that's super powerful.
Awesome. So I guess we're done with this. I'm just really looking forward to so you guys just send it off to your designer because it seems you have like some really talented designers
Yeah.
and yeah, just putting this live and waiting for the results because this is just way better at this point.